JJ, the CPA here, working late, heading home. Maybe, it's almost tomorrow. So you'll be able to watch my eyes. You're going to be able to see that I'm going to be watching the road the entire time. But I needed to visit with you for a minute, so I'm glad that you have tuned in. It seems as though the sentiment is that we're all going to get bailed out. That we're holding our breath and we feel as though we're going to be getting some relief. And that very well may be the case. Seems as though there's going to be stimulus checks. Seems as though there's going to be PUA. Seems as though there's going to be PPP. But what if you don't qualify? What if it does not come? Are you thinking that way? I'm asking, are you thinking that way? Because what I want you to remember is that as a business owner, you never expected someone to throw you a line. You didn't. Now, this is a common theme in my videos. I'm not at all saying that you shouldn't think about getting the relief. I'm not at all saying that you should be hoping for the relief. Definitely not saying that you should feel bad about getting any relief that is coming. But my concern for businesses coming out of 2020, we're in September now, right? Before we know it, what are we talking, 4 months? It'll be here we're going to blink and it'll be 2021. My concern for businesses coming out of 2020 is that we will be soft. We will have lost that proverbial eye of the tiger. You got the eye of the tiger? Think back to the beginning of the pandemic. And probably very stressful for most anybody listening. Such an unknown time. How prepared were you? You know, my mentor, Mark Burson, has been saying to people, Mike Tyson once said, everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. Well, most of us probably didn't have a plan for that, right? Who could plan for it? No one. But I think we all learned that we're not invincible. We're not as untouchable as we thought. Personally, professionally, physically, medically, mentally. The toll that it's taken. It's okay if you've grown soft, but you need to not end the year soft. Yes, I think there's going to be relief, but there is not going to be relief after this next round. Not possible. Not possible. Now, all politics aside, and economics, and Republicans and Democrats and all that, okay? I want you to think of the amount of money that's been provided, given out, loaned out, etc. Not possible for it to continue. So this is the last hurrah if you qualify for it. So if you get it, you need to treasure it. You need to, obviously there'll probably be some kind of requirements along with it, potentially, of like how long you have to spend it. I'm Assuming if they do PPP, they'll probably still do a 24-week period, which is 6 months basically. But you need to get prepared now on how you are going to use the relief if you get it. See, I work with clients that are attorneys, plaintiff attorneys, wonderful, wonderful attorneys. But in plaintiff cases, which is contingent cases, which is they get paid when the client gets paid, it puts those attorneys in a position where it's feast or famine. And I've grown to have a reputation with a wonderful group of these attorneys here in Oklahoma City as really being able to plan ahead. So feast or famine, the attorneys that I work with, when they know that they've got a big fee coming and it's been, famine time, we do planning before the money arrives. That way, when the money arrives, you're not just looking at what's on your desk. Before the money arrives, they're thinking through, first and foremost, what are the taxes on it to make sure they have that set aside, evaluating their debt and what should they pay off, evaluating what expenses potentially they owe on or going to owe, so that when that large sum comes in, or just at least a sum that's going to, keep them afloat, so to speak, they've already thought through what they are going to use it for. And so that is what you need to be doing. You need to be thinking about, okay, if I get the relief, what am I going to do with it? But if I don't get the relief, what am I going to do with it? To lead yourself into a year end that is not you relying on the next round of relief after this, because there will not be PPP 3.0. You know what PPP 3.0 is? Your money. So I know that I was watching a movie once, might have been The American President, and in that they were talking about a group of people that were so thirsty, some parable or something, but they were so thirsty in the desert that they drank the sand. And the president, Michael Douglas, I believe this is how the scene goes, corrected the person and said, no, they were so thirsty, they didn't know the difference when they were drinking the sand. As in, they were drinking the sand, delirious, not realizing they're even drinking sand. That's a direction that we're headed here in our economy. Mark my words, no doom and gloom, but the real estate market is headed for some problems, commercial and residential, which then causes there to be problems with banks. And I've got other videos where I've talked about this, all to say for you, there's not going to be relief for you after this. The relief will be for the banks. The relief will be for the real estate. It will not be for you. Not trying to say that to be mean. I'm saying it as go back to how you approached your business when you opened it, right? You weren't expecting any handouts, any hand-ups. Maybe you got a loan, but you were optimistic. You had a plan. You weren't sure what the plan was, but you had one. So get together a plan for 2021. Put it together. It's not going to be the same. I know there's this terminology of the new normal. There's always a new normal. in a small business especially, there's always a new normal. So what is 2021 going to look like for you? What assets do you have now that you need to be leveraging so that you're prepared for 2021? What dead weight do you have that you need to get rid of and cut loose now to be ready for 2021? Salaries, inventory, your location as in your lease, loans that you have as in should you refinance. Big picture. Right now, it's easy to be focused in on this month, next month, going into fourth quarter, going into year end, and you should. You got to spend a little time every week thinking about next year, what's going to be different. So you know how you do that? Be looking at your month to month in 2019. You can just pull out your bank statement and look at your month to month in 2019. You can look at it month to month for 2020. You got financial statements, look at it month to month. Look at your general ledger. Ask your accountant for your general ledger. You need to know your numbers. You need to know where your money's going. Look at your bank statement. Stop being afraid of it. Stop being too busy. Stop giving excuses. Stop putting your head in the sand. Stop not wanting to see the numbers. Stop listening to those that don't actually have your same interest in line with your future. You need to be listening to your gut and to your instincts on what you need to do. You need to make hard decisions now. Small businesses that go out of business are ones that make the hard decisions too late. The hard decision is, I guess we close the business. No. The hard decision is before you get to that, what you do to cut weight, what you do to get water that's coming on board off, out, drained. You got to figure it out now. When you're looking for relief, you're not looking for relief now on how to keep things going the way that they were. You have to find relief so that in your transition into 2021, you will land on your feet, because there will be no relief in 2021. And you can land on your feet. You're doing it right now. What is a business? You. You are the business. Yes, it's made up of people. Yes, it's made up of a location. Yes, it's made up of a reputation, a service, etc. The business starts with you. Here. Your business is not failing until you fail it up here. You have to think. I want you to do this. I want you to think about your business as though it is not your business. I want you to think of your business as you are advising yourself. You're the consultant advising yourself. Couldn't be a better advisor out there. Couldn't be anyone better than you to advise yourself, because you know it in your gut. You know it in your heart. You know it in here, what decisions you have to make. I've never sat down with a business owner and question after question to draw out what the issues are, to draw out what they already know they need to do that they didn't already know. It is rare that I'm sitting with a business owner and they're like, wow, I really didn't have any idea that I needed to go ahead and let go of these employees, or I needed to let go of that location, or I needed to cut this inventory, or expand in this way and detract in this way. They always knew. They had a gut. They're meeting with me to more maybe prove out what they're thinking, or more to see what they're thinking as in black and white, or to confirm. Very rare do I meet with the client and then somehow brush away, the cobwebs or dust, and the owner go, wow, I had no idea. So I've been talking to a number of you on my phone consultations. You can go to my website, jjthecpa.com, and we can schedule a phone consultation. But I've been visiting with a number of you around the nation, and I'm honored by it. And what's interesting, in those conversations, I can get real quick. We got 30 minutes or 45 minutes or an hour and 15 minutes. But a couple of times I've had to say, well, why are you listening to that person? Well, let's just wait another month or two. And another month or two, it's going to be too late. There's no more waiting. There's no more like, well, let's see. And what I'm really frustrated about in the Senate and the House, Republicans and Democrats, I guess we can blame the president. I mean, the president's just sitting there waiting for stuff to get on his desk. It's awesome to blame the president. So blame him, whatever. Okay. My whole point is the president's helpless. No matter who the president is, they're helpless. They can't do jack squat until House and the Senate put something on their desk for the president to then do any jack squatting. Right? Yeah, there was presidential executive order, memorandum, et cetera, right? So only relief that we have right now. Good, bad, or indifferent. Dumb, doesn't make any difference. Who cares? What I'm telling you is I'm frustrated with it because we're now all holding our breath. And while we're holding our breath, we're getting soft. Soft as in, well, we're just going to wait. We're just going to wait. We're just going to wait. It's putting us on the defense. Nothing is won by defense. You have to win by scoring. You have to make the touchdown. You have to get the run. You have to make the basket. You can guard all day long. You can block all day long. You can strike people out all day long. But unless you're crossing the plate, and unless you're putting the ball into the basket, and unless you're entering into the end zone, you're not going to win. So sitting around holding our breath, sitting around being on the defense, sitting around waiting is making us soft. Don't be. Be the one that survives this. 25% of small businesses will be out of business permanently by the end of this year. And a lot of those most likely will be in the restaurant industry, the hospitality industry, those industries that are shut down still. California's sitting in a world of hurt. So I understand we got COVID. I'm not taking a position that we should open or close or any of that good stuff or serious stuff. What I'm saying for you is, what are you doing now to prepare for 2021? You need any help with it? Put it in the comments. What are your concerns? What other videos can I put together for you? What else do you want me to provide some information for you? Cash flow planning, already working on my third book, which is how to find safety coming out of a storm, which is addressing this. But what I want to encourage you on is you already know. You already know. It's what you think about when you wake up. It's what you think about right before you close your eyes. It's what you think about when the hot water is flowing over your head when you're taking a shower in the morning. It's what you're thinking about when you're entering in your shop, your office, your restaurant, your home office, wherever you step into that mode where you're working, you're doing your business. It's what you think of right when it starts. That's what you need to address now. Feelings do not matter. I'm not talking about being immoral. I'm not talking about being unethical. I'm not talking about being what many people think a business owner is, Scrooge. You're just looking out for yourself. There is no business for anybody, starting with you, if you do not get into 2021 doing the things that you know you need to do right now. It would be better, and I've had a number of videos, it'd be better to get honest with yourself, honest with the people around you, get honest with your employees if that's the case, get honest with your vendors if that's the case, instead of doing what every business owner does, including me, which is think we're invincible. Or we want people to think we're invincible. And know this, this as a small business owner. That's not arrogance, it's a protection. It's a self-protection. Right? When you're the captain of your business, right? You can't be running around unsure and I don't know, and you got to be confident in what you're doing. You need your customers to have faith in you, to have faith in your business. You need to have your customers know that you're going to take care of them. You need your employees to know you're the leader. We got a plan. Here's what we're doing. Right? Your family, your kids, people you go to church with or school or the synagogue or the Friday morning breakfast or you name it. Okay? It's not, you're not being deceitful. That's just probably in a lot of ways human nature. Right? It's not putting on a facade. Right? And guess what? That's what you're expected to do. So what I'm telling you right now is, you know what I'm expecting you to do? I'm expecting you to survive. I'm expecting you to make the hard decisions now. I'm expecting you to follow your gut. I'm expecting you to do what it is you know you need to do. I've talked about it here and there. 30 seconds of courage is all it takes to do whatever it is that you're afraid to do. Jim, I need to visit with you. Jim, gonna have to let you go. Need to visit with you. Not going to be able to continue buying that inventory from you. Their reaction is irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Be better to tell, though, these people ahead of time. That's what's key here. That's how you do it ethically. That's how you do it with morals. That's how you do it in a way that, you're doing the best you can. It doesn't help anyone to wait until your account is depleted to negative, and then you say, you don't have a job right now, and gee golly, I'm sorry. Maybe it makes you feel better because then you've put yourself in a position where you kind of feel like it's not your fault. It's like, well, I just didn't have a choice. There was no money. Okay? Man up, woman up. Before it's depleted to nothing and you're shutting down your business and you're claiming bankruptcy and your house is foreclosed on, because you wouldn't have a conversation with somebody 60 days earlier, 90 days earlier, is dumb. It's ridiculous and it's weak. What would be better is before you're to a negative, you sit and have a conversation with your employee. Say, we need to find another option for you. We've got a little time. Let your employees have time. Let your vendors have time. Let your landlord have time. Own it. Right now, everybody understands we're in COVID. We're in a crisis. We're in a national pandemic. It's not using it as an excuse. It's a reality. What would you rather want as a business owner? Wouldn't you rather your customer come to you and just say, hey, listen, I don't know that we can keep buying from you, versus they keep buying from you and then you learn that they can't pay you, and in the meantime you've been continuing to give them product? Wouldn't you rather your customer come to you, and even if you're disappointed in the moment, even if you're going to say, well, we had a deal, and even if you're going to say we had a contract, wouldn't you rather know that your customer is not going to be able to continue to pay you? Wouldn't it be better to make arrangements? Wouldn't it be better to then say, well, maybe we do it in half, right? Flip that. By being brave, you're actually doing it better, and you will be one of those that survive. Now, 25% of businesses will be out of business permanently is estimated when going into 2021. Do not be one of those statistics. You don't want to go back working for somebody else. Is that right? Of course it is. But there's going to be another 25% of businesses that are going to be limping. And what I've seen over time is that whatever a business falls behind, it takes them 3 times as long to just get back to break even. So for every month a business has been closed, it's going to take them 3 months at least to get back to break even. You're closed for 2 months, you're looking at 6 months. Point is that there's also going to be businesses limping into 2021. Don't be one of them because you didn't want to face whatever it is that you're not wanting to face right now. You're waiting for the PPP. You're waiting for the PUA. You're waiting for the stimulus check. That's okay. But whatever hard decision that you would need to make, if it didn't arrive, it's still the hard decision that you need to make. You're still going to need to make it. Relief will only prolong it. Relief will only put a bridge between now and when you actually then have to make the hard decision. And by further waiting, you're putting yourself further behind. It's time to be ruthless. Ruthless. You know what ruthless is, though? It can include compassion. It can include thoughtfulness. It can include warning. It can include graciousness. Ruthless as in, I have got to do this change now, and the better it is, the earlier I tell people, the better it will be. Ruthless is, here's the decision that I have to make. It doesn't mean that you burn everything around you. It doesn't mean that your employees don't have a job tomorrow. Ruthless is, I will not be able to keep these 3 employees. Ruthless is being ruthless with yourself to then hold yourself accountable to then take action on that. Ruthless is you don't give yourself an excuse. You don't make it easy on yourself. You don't put a blind eye to it. You don't give yourself an excuse. Ruthless, I'm sure if you look it up in a dictionary or however it's normally used, probably brings images of a terrible person. Wrong. There's a minister that talks about putting time in your day, creating margin in your day by ruthlessly eliminating waste. Be ruthless with yourself. Be ruthless with your future. That is how you will survive. You don't have to devour the people around you. You don't have to push them off a cliff. You can survive all on your own. You don't have to survive by putting a boot on somebody else's dreams or their future. You know how you put a boot and squash somebody's future is you wait till it's too late. You wait and you're weak and you wait until your bank is negative and then you tell your employees. That's weak. Strong is you tell your employees before. You give them warning. You tell your customers. You tell your vendors. That is strong. That is courage. That is being ruthless. It is weak and it is not the way to go until you wait until it's too late. It's not going to be anybody's fault. They're your numbers. It's your bank statement. I'm going through this with the group that I'm working with on my 12-week program, and we're looking at this bank statement every single week. Everything you want to know about your business is in your bank statement. No more excuses. None. Whatever it is that you need to do, get it done. Set a shot clock for yourself, as Mark would say to me. Put a shot clock on it. There's been a few of them that I said, you need to do this, and you know you need to do it, and I want you to email me when you do it. And only one person has done that, Jim. Good job, Jim. Changed your entire future for the better. The others, maybe they forgot, maybe they didn't do it. And mark my words, they should have done what I told them to do, because I was advising them the way that they should have been advising themselves. I was only telling them to do what they were actually asking me if they should do. And I said, yes, you should do that. And they still, most likely, haven't done it. It wasn't that I had the crystal ball. It wasn't that I knew better. But by asking questions and hearing what they really wanted to happen, telling them, yeah, you need to do that happen. And they just didn't do the 30 seconds of courage, I'm guessing. They weren't ruthless with their business. All right. Boom. You can do this. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. What is it that you need to do? You need a little help with it? Send me an email. jj@jjthecpahelp.com. Put in the regarding line, I need 30 seconds of courage. Let me know what it is in that email. You want to visit? Go to jjthecpa.com. Schedule a consultation with me. What do you need some courage to get done? Let's do it, because you need to survive. All right. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'd love it if you subscribe. I always ask that too late. And then don't you ever forget, you've never met a CPA quite like me. Have a great day.